All right, we're live.
Howdy ho.
How is everybody? Bad Tree Blake will be here in just a few. He's running a few minutes behind today, but I want to go ahead and greet Torque Racing Production, Roland, Big Block 402, Barrow's Garage, who, by the way, as of, I believe, Wednesday, he has passed me in subscribers. So that was his personal race, and I congratulate him on that. He deserves it. Turlo's in the house, mostly old parts and rust, auto salvage outlaws. Colleen Tebow, the junkyard explorer. Let's see, Rabbit Transit J is here. Credence Chrysler Revival, how you doing, man? Dean Stevenson, Kiwi, check. Yes, indeed. All right, Perpetual Project. Perpetual Projects is rocking. Perpetual Projects is getting 500 sooner than later. They've been killing it. John at Cope Racing Transmissions, how you doing, sir? All right, Mitten Made Muscle is here. Spencer's Food Reviews. That sounds interesting. I'll check that out just based on the name. JB's Little Shop, White Trash Motorsports. Well, I'm glad all you guys can make it. Like I said, if you're just rolling in, Blake from Bad Tree Productions is going to be here in a few minutes, just like Buff, just slid in, and we'll let Blake in when he gets here. But as I put up on the thumbnail, you know, in the beginning, we tried to give some suggestions of how to get your content creation started because a lot of people weren't sure what to ask, so we just made suggestions. But, you know, here we are in August. And, you know, as the orange paper says, we're 46 days out. So you guys should have a good idea now of what you're doing and may want to ask questions of how to refine it. So it's kind of a shift in what's needed, right?
Yeah.
So this is a free format. If you have any questions about content creations, how to get your videos seen, what do I need to do X to make Y happen, this is the time to do it.
There's Blake.
Can you hear me?
Blake's
Yes,
spider senses were telling him when my greeting and introduction were over, so he'd know when to jump in.
Timing is everything, man. How you doing,
Yeah,
Blake?
man.
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Sunday afternoon. Life is
SRP head.
decent.
Colleen, I think she means her son, the master procrastinator, will be here shortly. If that channel name's not taken, you might consider it. But as I was saying earlier, today is a question and answer format. So if you guys have any questions about your content creation, it is crunch time. I've been seeing some big surges in subscriber numbers the last couple of updates. Speaking of that, Redbeard Racing 710, he's one of those making big surges. Perpetual Projects. We got several guys who probably going to be making 500 here within a week or so. But Mopar Den's just 38 away.
Woo.
But those of you guys who have questions, this is the time to ask. Got a lot of talent in here between Buzz and Blake, and that's what these shops are for.
You can go live, Perpetual Projects. Going live's easy with your cell phone. You don't need any equipment. You can go do your first live that way. If you hold your cell phone up vertically, you'll see a little plus when you have the YouTube app open. Just click on that and hit go live. Easy as that.
And he's got a detached shop. Is your Wi-Fi? Have you got a strong signal out in the shop? Because that live takes a little bit more bandwidth. Because when you're just uploading, but for a live of any duration, is your shop wired by chance? If you guys haven't seen the videos they did on putting their shop together, pretty entertaining stuff, and it's a great example of getting stuff done with what you have. He had a really odd-sized garage door, and he ended up putting two garage doors together, side by side, bolted together, made them one, and filled his hole famously, man. It was really a crafty solution.
Hey, Perpetual Projects, StreamYard is optional, but I'm not sure. It may take either 500 or 1,000 subs to do a stream from YouTube. Is there a minimum sub requirement still to go live directly from YouTube, Blake?
I have no idea.
I don't believe. I don't believe so.
Okay, they may have changed it. They may have changed it.
Yeah, I don't believe so. But the beautiful thing about StreamYard, nothing to download, nothing to install. You very simply go to StreamYard.com, put in your email address. It'll email you a login passcode. It's free. You can have up to 6 people online together, or you can just do a live yourself where you're interacting with the chat. Give it a shot. It works on your phone. It should work on your laptop. Or I don't know if you got a laptop or a desktop, but it will need a decent internet connection. It can be done over Wi-Fi, but look for a strong signal.
Rapid Transit Jay says, I believe it's 1,000 to stream directly from YouTube. Here's the thing. It may be 500, maybe 1,000. Bottom line is this, even if you can't, StreamYard makes it really simple.
Yes, they do.
It's so simple and it's free. StreamYard is, whoever designed StreamYard knew exactly what that person was doing.
Speaking of StreamYard, John, can you hit the tiles so we're not all vertical? I feel claustrophobic.
There we go. Sorry about that. I thought I already had it in that default view. I did not. There we go. Yes, much better. Thank you. Yeah, Big Block says he streamed from YouTube with 100 subs. I think they have changed it. I know that about 2 years ago it took 1,000 to do it.
There may well be a limit when you go directly through YouTube to do a live, but I'm pretty confident that StreamYard circumvents that because they're piping through the back door via an API.
I know that earlier in the season, it still took a minimum sub count because the No Name 500 guys were asking me, YouTube won't let us stream, but I think that has been dropped. In the summer. I think they dropped it very recently. Regardless, you know what? I have the subs to stream, but I still use StreamYard because I just think it makes it easier.
It is such a much better platform.
Once you set it up the first time and you tell it to broadcast to your channel, you'll never go back.
Easy as pie.
And it's free.
And it's free.
I like using the YouTube app to go live generally if I'm going to be by myself. The only time it's a bonus with StreamYard to me is if you're going to have multiple people on the show with you. Otherwise, for just simplicity, and if you already have the subscriber number, I think that's the easiest way. For me, that's how I usually go live.
Now that's interesting. Sam's saying you can only have 1,000 watch if you were under 1,000 subs. I wouldn't worry about that. If you got 1,000 people watching you, you don't have a subscriber problem.
Truth.
So what are you guys doing for your final pushes? Do you have any questions about content creation, or do you want to tell us, what your game plans are? We'll help with whatever you have. I mean, like I said, we got Buzz, we got Blake. You got some high horsepower in here to help you right now. So
we were talking perpetual projects earlier. Something else that deals with perpetual projects. They had, and I know he's not the only one, but they did a bunch of recording. As I understand, like a day's worth of recording, all with no audio. But I believe that the latest they put out, the latest update where he welds up his front cross member and does some priming and painting and whatnot, paints the firewall. In that video, I think the bulk of that video is using the audio, using the video without the audio, with it creatively dubbed over with some voice segments and it looked like there was probably a couple of video segments spliced in. But a great example of turning a bad, man, we got no audio, we got nothing, into, had they not even said anything, I don't think anybody would have even noticed. It turned out just fine. Good work on the truck, challenging. They had some challenges, but pulled it off nicely with what they had to work with.
If you never tell people you have problems, you don't have problems. So
Blake,
if you ever come across, you know how many corrupted files I've had or audio clips that went missing and stuff, and You either put it on the cutting room floor or you make it work with something, but you never try not to complain about it.
Yeah. They weren't necessarily complaining. They were, it was one of many challenges during that week. Watch the video, Perpetual Projects channel. I believe it's the latest. They may have a short out earlier than that, but yeah, good watch.
I remember one time I used to produce a podcast here in New River Valley, and we had a camera go down in the middle of an interview, and we lost a few minutes. So, thinking on my feet, I said, the good news is we get to have a part 2 that everybody's excited about. And you know what? It actually worked out really well that way. So what I did is I cleaned up where it dropped, and I cleaned it up and I made a break where there was something really cool she was getting ready to get into. And I just made the break there for part 2, and it gave her an opportunity to improve upon what she wanted to do because she had more stuff going on at her farm. So it actually gave her more story development because we got to do it at a later time. It actually worked out great. So, you gotta, as a content creator, you gotta roll with it and learn how to make that lemonade from the lemons you're given, and you can, and you will.
Content creating needs to be attacked just like anything else. When you're working on your rod, you're rifling around for some part you've got on the parts shelf, and whammo, you find this kick-ass part that's from another vehicle, but you've always had it in your heart to use it on something, and you figure out a way to work with what you have, and or you can't get the new parts. You're dealing with the supply chain slowdowns and that kind of stuff. Again, work with what you have. For me, that's what makes it fun. Anybody can go out there and follow the numbers and do a build of some sort, and Google this, Google that. The fun I find is working with what you got from a tool standpoint as well as a part standpoint, and Cobra fabricating things together. You don't want to do stuff half-assed necessarily. That's not what I'm saying, but it's the creativity of trying how to solve a problem with what you got without making another run to the store or another trip to Amazon or Jegs or whatever. And that I find when I'm making videos, most recent example is those videos we were putting out, the Who Will Be There videos, and figuring out what snippets really kind of tell the story for each of those channels, without making it take 60 minutes of rifling through, in some of those channels cases, a whole lot of hundreds of videos, but snapping stuff together with what you got to work with, and building stuff, stacking blocks.
I want to say hi to our newest Mr. 500 Punisher Le Mans Garage.
In the house, heck yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Nothing but checkers.
How you doing? Robert Magny slid in, Captain Do, Ron English, the Ron English, brother of the Don English. Glad all you guys could make it. Ari's here.
Hey, Ari.
Yep. So today we got a really free format. If you have any questions about your channel, now's a good time. Colleen Tebow's in here, and Colleen sent me a message just, wanting my thoughts on a channel name. And Colleen, if you have any questions, you're getting ready to try to lift a new channel off the ground, this is a good time with Bud and Blake in here.
I love naming stuff. I love naming stuff. Is this something completely disassociated with the current? Something brand new idea?
This is the time to break through that shyness. And if your son wants to run the channel, he should jump in here. Good time to do it. Perpetual Project says, when will I get to 10,000 subscribers? Well,
right after number 9,999.
If you're me, the year 2137. If you're the next Dalton Summit, before the end of the year. It'll be
You'll know, John said a bunch of times, you know, with a 500, for example, the second 250 is a lot easier than the first 250, and
Yeah.
that does seem to compound itself. The more you get, the more opportunities you have for people to find your stuff, share your stuff, and you'll find, you know, the more folks you got, the more you're going to grow.
I'm looking
A couple
for a
of
question from Rick here.
videos from YouTube, or regarding YouTube. If you haven't checked them out, both of them are must watches in my mind. You can go to my channel, Roadkill Customs, go to the community page, and there's two videos there. One is about the algorithm itself and understanding what it means in terms of what you're putting out content wise, and then another one that is about shorts and the algorithm. You know, there's talk, for example, about you know, if you're doing too many shorts, does it in the end hurt your channel in any way? You know, defocus it and that kind of stuff. And there's a fantastic, crystal clear explanation again on my community page. It could be a dozen posts down, but again, one is how's the algorithm work in 2022, and the other one is shorts and the algorithm. Both of them must watch in my mind.
Ari says, what do you guys hate about my channel? Is it my smug voice, the outlaw country, the unreadable name? Ari, I've never even thought about hating anything about your channel, actually.
I think that's an inside joke because I give Ari shit.
I know, but it's like,
Clogging up my feed with all your shorts.
Hey, I had a conversation not long ago, and you know, with a channel like Ari's, for example, he's a dude. That's the name of his channel. He may or may not change that at any time. But we were also talking about niche. Not Ari and I, me and someone else, who just not important. But we were talking about niche. And when you watch that How the Algorithm Works video that's on my community page, it's talking about, you know, YouTube, based on everything you've posted so far, has this particular picture about what your channel's about. And when you put out a video that's about something different, you know, how that all works, and you know, what actually happens. I can't remember what was my original point. Who out there knows? My mind wandered there for a second. It'll come back to me. I'm confident of it. What was I? It will. It'll come back to me, apparently, the second half of that great story.
White Trash Motorsports was asking why he can't get 1% of his subs to click on what he does. And the only thing that comes to mind is that Sam got a bunch of subscribers in a short amount of time. And I think a lot of those subs are probably not following for automotive content. Nothing wrong with having them at all. It's just it might be a little harder to rally them on your more streamlined content you're doing now.
That was an off-topic couple of videos or something that drove that?
Yes.
What was it? Was that
Freedom Convoy.
Freedom Convoy.
Creedence Chrysler Revival. This one, I let you guys run with that one, because Sam is a cool guy. He's got his machine shop there, does cool stuff, works on cool stuff. 414 stroker for his truck, got all the right stuff. I would love to see his channel take off. What do you guys think about old Creedence Chrysler Revival?
I'm taking a peek at it.
Yeah, take a peek at what he's doing over there, because he's one of those that just the stuff he is the right stuff. The stuff he's doing is the right stuff. It just needs to jump. Wow, White Trash Motorsports got 1,000 subs in the last month. Boom.
I'd say if you're a
Oh, man.
machine shop kind of person like Ed could
Yeah.
even probably use this advice, is look up other machine shops out there and see which ones are popular. Do they talk with simpler, more layman's terms? You know, do they explain every single detail, or do they just kind of gloss over it? See who's popular and how their formula is, and kind of, you know, make that part of your way that you go about doing stuff, but still be you. You know, don't try to imitate, you know, plagiarize. But I like to look at other bigger channels and see what they do. It helps me get ideas for different styles of editing. Anything you can take inspiration from. So just look at other people that do the similar thing that you're doing.
Here's a good one that's just an open-ended question, and both of you guys are excellent to ask this to. What are you guys' opinion on shorts? Wasted Talent Fabrications asks that.
Currently, they are a wonderful opportunity to get new people to your channel. People are experiencing subscriber growth from shorts. The biggest reason right now is because YouTube themselves are really focused on pushing shorts. Some videos, I mean, they're seeing 1,000+ views in the first 15 minutes, for crying out loud, from relatively small channels. You know, if you hit the mark on one, and let me tell you something, that one example I was thinking of, it was no more difficult for somebody to just see something, film it, pan with it, save it, upload it, boom. 16 minutes later, you know, 1,000 views. To really accurately answer the shorts question, I would refer you again to that shorts in the algorithm video that's posted on my channel's community page. It nails it. It tells you exactly all the facts, how it affects your channel overall. Covers all the bases, and I'd do it a disservice if I tried to do any more than what I just said. Hey, looking at your channel credence, making that initial feel of your channel could be done in just a matter of minutes. When I arrive at your channel, for example, the top row is shorts, and there's one short. So there's space for 5 additional shorts that's actually just showing up as unfilled white space. If you were to move, and this is as simple as going into YouTube Studio and then customize, the lower half of the page has the various sections, which you've already been into. You've already added shorts, uploads, subscriptions, excuse me, popular uploads, and playlists. For example, if you moved popular uploads in that top position, the first video that people are going to see, good, bad, or indifferent, is the offset rocker head for Old Yeller. Whether you want that necessarily to be your #1 video, but that video shows up with 1.2 thousand views. Already the first video that somebody's looking at from your channel is something that looks significant. It's got to have some merit to it, otherwise it wouldn't have better than 1,000 views on a channel that's relatively small in terms of subscribers. I'd put popular uploads at the top, your most popular stuff. Follow that with uploads, your most recent stuff, and then whatever's most important to you. At this point, you may want to put shorts all the way at the bottom because you only have one short. As soon as you get 5 or 6 shorts, that may warrant that you move it back up, in precedence on the page. But, something like popular uploads, then your playlists. Your playlists help guide people, Old Yeller and the small block stroker build. If either one of those, that should probably be in the 3rd or 4th position. And put your other descriptions and shorts towards the bottom. But right off the bat, when somebody arrives at your page, hey, he's only got 137, but look, man, he's got over 1,000 views on some videos. That initial impression is going to be a lot stronger.
Real quick, I want to say hi to the James and James Show. Thanks for joining us. I believe this is your first content creator workshop.
Right on.
But both Phillips Run, Drip, and Bubble Company and John Cope are asking, how long do you think shorts should be? And Blake, tell us what you think about shorts in general, and what are your thoughts on how long they should be?
You might be muted, Blake.
I haven't had any real successful shorts myself. I've been just kind of messing around, but I have been studying it like the caveman. So I noticed some real popular shorts. They'll start with a frame kind of mid-sentence, and at the end of the short, it's almost like they're leading into the beginning of the short again. So you get tricked into watching it in a loop. So that's kind of movie magic. How do you word it? How do you film it in a way where it gets somebody to view it accidentally 4 times, right? I'll use, I think Wasted Talent Fabrications was the one who started that question. He's been recycling shorts and trying to play around with that to see if it does any better. Sometimes the second go around they get more views than the first time, but it's, I don't know if it's totally paying off doing that. Now if you look at Dudes with Wrenches, he found Dudes with Wrenches here, and he starts with that hook every single damn time, and it's something knowledgeable. You can learn out of it. It's entertaining, and he found that worked, so why would he change it? And that's just like what Vice Grip Garage started doing. He found what worked, and he ran with what worked, and you keep growing it and growing it and growing it. And I think he's got a couple over 1.5 million views on his shorts right now.
Yeah,
he's just killing it.
He found a phenomenal recipe, and it works for him.
And with shorts length also, I want to get in here, Buzz. Sorry for cutting you off, but if you want to use like an audio track background in your short, audio tracks only last 15 seconds, so select that 15-second short option. Make your video fit within that 15 seconds, because you see a ton of shorts out there that run 30 seconds long. You hear the first 15 seconds is music, and then after that 15 seconds it goes blank, no music and just video. And I think that's when you might not get that retention. So try to keep it matched up with your audio for the same length.
Pro tip.
Just quick, for you guys who are not familiar with Dudes with Wrenches, just want to let you know he's part of Cletus's posse, okay? And on July 4th, he had 700 subscribers, and right now he's got almost 47,000. Okay,
he's
so just
like wildfire.
Dudes with Wrenches here, and his voice sounds good too. I mean, he's got a lot going for him.
No doubt. My take on the length of shorts, I don't have one. It needs to be under 60 seconds. I've seen some that are 59 seconds go hog-ass wild. I've seen some that are 3 seconds, just a quick flash of something, and generally speaking, it does exactly what Blake just mentioned. It's edited and cut in such a way where it's essentially a loop. And people do, especially with such a short video, and they go hog crazy wild on some of those.
I'm going to try a test thing here shortly this week, and it's going to be what is not the correct name for this tool. Let me know in the comments.
There you go.
Yeah, wrong answers only.
Wrong answers only. I'm going to see, because that tries to get somebody interactive with you then, right? Instead of just saying, hey, look at this 57 Chevy. What's this called? It's we all know what it is, but is it a Moscow micrometer?
Here's
size.
This is something I've noticed in my experience. Those ones that are going viral, truly viral, where you're seeing 1,000 views in 15 minutes. That is viral. Where it ends up and if the algorithm kicks in is arguable. But almost all of those, with some exceptions, of course, those are the classic short where you got a kick-ass car driving by, you quickly pick up your phone, do the pan with it, click stop, something natural. Without any text, without any, the simplest of ones to make. All you got to do is hit record, stop record, upload the damn thing. Whatever sound or audio, if it's a vehicle driving by, you're getting the, or a bird flying by, or a plane flying by, or, a hot air balloon or something like that. Those are the ones that are going crazy ass hog wild, real deal, viral. And then the produced ones that do well, they seem to not do as well initially until the algorithm kicks, and then they go wild. Just simply because it's, you know, good quality content, but somebody's also invested their time and effort. You know, those that are going to a car show, you know, you got some dude driving out and lighting up the tires, that kind of stuff. The natural, oh shit, hit record, get it.
That's what
Upload that, and those, they're the easiest to make, they're the fastest to make, and
that's
they go
what
crazy.
Ryan's son from Streetcar Chronicles does. He tags along with his dad, and he goes to the drag strip with them, and he takes short videos of cars going and doing passes.
There you go.
And he's closing in on his dad for subs right now.
You know, a lot of these guys too, you know, think back of a lot of that picture stuff or video shorts and whatnot that you got on your cell phone, you know, that's in the vertical orientation. I would be willing to bet that 90% of the folks that are in the chat right now have a short that if they just looked through their spare videos, boom, there's one. You know, and sometimes they can be as simple as easy. You go to Target to pick up a 12 or a iced tea or whatever, and some board shorts, and on the way out there's some kick-ass car, a 15 to 20, maybe 30 if it's a really kick-ass long car. You know, a walk around and a couple of comments on what it is and, you know, what's cool about it or whatever. Those kind also. Super simple, super fast, virtually no editing. Maybe you snip a little off the front and a little off the back so you got a nice clean short. But other than that, you know, it can be crafted inside of 60 seconds, for crying out loud.
Something I'll throw in about these shorts too. You know, I know that Jay from Rabbit Transit Garage did one short, and it just is one of those shorts that checked all the boxes on that one particular day, and he probably got 500 subs from that one short alone. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about here.
And the thing is because there's 46 days left, and some of you guys need some subs. Just why don't you challenge yourself? No more time than it takes. You can literally do a short from start to finish in 1 minute, post it and all.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be if I was in the position of needing, say, a couple hundred subs and I had 46 days, at the very least, I would be putting up at least a short every day.
And if you're doing it with your cell phone, it doesn't have to be a one take 60 seconds long. You can record, let go with your thumb, get set up for your next yakklage that you're going to do, then record again.
Yeah, but just get that content out, because I do the about every other day, I go in and tally the numbers to see who needs subs, who's gotten 500. We've had 32 channels cross the finish line so far, and that's one recurring theme I'm seeing that will probably help all of you guys who still need subscribers. Make sure you're putting up some piece of content every day. If you say, I'm going to work on a really cool polished video and it's going to take me 4 days to get it done, that's great. But in the other 3, you can at least put up a short. You can at least put up a 1 or 2 minute video. You can at least put up a video about the project that you're doing that contributes to the project that has the 4 minute video. Those things will all be helping you.
Try to use a short to excite people about your week video that drops later that week.
That's it.
Also, another place to look for, you know, already on hand short material is your B-roll stuff that you chopped out of other video editing exercises. Some of that cutting room floor stuff, perfect. You know, why am I, the words eluding me? Outtakes. You know, outtakes, so to speak. You got, you know, bumbling some words. Pop it out there as a 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 second, you know, hey, look at me, blah, 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 type of thing. Those things also, sometimes they just take off. But those are also real good for channel growing, simply because people see that people are real. They're not taking themselves too seriously and that kind of thing when they post outtakey kind of stuff.
You can make horizontal video into shorts also if you have an editing system where you can edit in a vertical. It'll just have a black bar above center. You can fill that with artwork, like your channel name or whatever. Subscribe now or, you know, whatever, yeah.
Shout out to Colleen Tebow's sons, Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. How you like that name? That's pretty cool. And this is neat too. So Irish Outlaw Garage. So his infamous oil pan short, right? It took 5 minutes. Film, edit, YouTube. I use YouCut. The main thing is that he did it. You know, those 5 minutes were a wonderful investment in his channel growth because it did all the things it needed to do. It got subscribers. It got interest in his channel. It was entertaining. It got a gain for him at the expense of no one else. Wonderful. Those are the kind of things that just is what it's all about.
Don't overthink shorts.
Yeah, just do it.
Don't overthink them. Especially if you're just, attempting to pop one a day. If you're sitting there thinking this one's probably going to be a turd, that could be an indicator it's going to go viral. Because I've given up on attempting to figure out, how you can make something to go viral. It just never seems to work. It always seems to be an accident.
Some of the dumbest things that we shoot wind up being, I can't believe that many people want to watch that.
Exactly.
They do.
Exactly. And then the one you put, 12 hours of editing into, and it's like nobody will even touch the thing.
Yes. Been there.
Yeah.
Done that many a times.
Irish Outlaw says the oil pan video struck a nerve, but it struck a nerve in the right way. It wasn't disrespectful to anybody. It wasn't belittling anybody. It wasn't mean to anybody. Nothing. It was just about the oil pan, and the purists might not like it, but that's okay. It was good, honest content. It was that's the way to do it.
That's a great example.
You can stir the pot without putting your foot on anybody else's head, and that oil pan video was a good example of such. I like it when we see these channels doing all this good stuff and they all uplift together. They all kind of play off each other, and it gives other channels ideas. And I could see more people playing along with videos like that one.
No doubt.
Yeah, I see Punisher. I found that if I post after 8 p.m., I get 1,500 views. The later in the night, more people are home, so you'll get a more broad audience that way, and that's awesome. I mean,
that is, evening hours are particularly true for shorts. People are sitting on the couch, laying in bed, can't fall asleep, and they're just next, scroll. Yeah.
So whatever time it is where you're at, so like, let's just say everybody's off work by 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. on the West Coast is what? 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Everybody's still awake yet. Nobody's in bed yet. Well, maybe. John might be in bed at 9 p.m. Wait, actually, you're a night owl, aren't you, John?
Not really, but this kind of forces me to be sometimes. Cultured Redneck Garage is asking a question.
I'm looking.
Yeah, any thoughts or suggestions to improve my channel? Well, I'll say this. I'll throw this in there. You're a charismatic guy. You have cool stuff. That Plymouth is super cool. The ATV, doing stuff with the daughter, all that's great. You need to make content and post more often. That to me is like the single biggest thing.
Very similar to the channel we just looked at, Credence. Opportunity there on your homepage. Yours is looking a little bit more stout because you don't have any white space at the top of your page. But I would add the section again. You just go into YouTube Studio, click on Customize, and on the lower portion of the page, you'll see the featured sections. I'd put popular videos at the top, followed by uploads, followed by shorts, and created playlists. Basically, what you have now, but inject popular videos at the top. Show people your most popular stuff out of the chute. Again, that just shows people your what would those videos be? Let's find out.
6 minutes on each side, right? Just Mopar Joe.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing that in. We really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so that most popular upload section would put a couple of videos at the top that are both 1,000 views or better. Again, that initial reaction to your page is going to be, okay, the guy's got some stuff over 1,000. Let me dig a little deeper.
JB says, I've been trying everything and can't seem to get a handle on it. Get a handle on what? You're doing great. You're climbing slow, but you're getting there.
I mean, just imagine how much slower it'd be without the no name.
Yeah, do you have any overall suggestions for JB? Because last I looked, which would have been less than 24 hours ago. JB was at 415.
Yeah, he's been chugging right along.
You're going to make it, JB. There's no way this community's not going to rally out 85 subscribers. So, but
Yeah, he's at
You're
416
gonna get there.
right now.
Hey, you got one more now.
There you go. Same situation on JB's Little Shop's homepage. You've got two sections up there, uploads and shorts. Both of them need to be there. I would put your most popular videos up at the top.
JB's Little Shop. You need to have some captions on your thumbnails, bud.
No doubt. Piece of artwork at the top of your channel, the channel banner.
Even make a logo and put it on every one of your thumbnails or something like that. You know, description on your thumbnail is what's going to catch everybody's eyes, not the description underneath the thumbnail.
Your photo choices for your thumbnails look pretty decent, though. You know, it's your guys' faces, the full vehicle, a close-up of the engine, you know, with the intake centered. You know, the photos themselves are good, but Blake's right. Something that one to several words to a phrase that gives people a good idea. He does. Some of his is mesmerizing too, man. His blade sharpening stuff, I could watch that for hours. I'm also the kind of guy that watches, you know, time-lapse landscaping stuff.
That's looks cool.
Garage. Sorry, Blake.
That's fine.
I caught that. Notice Barrows. Barrows is the guy who knows. Barrows had 42 subscribers when we announced on January 11th. Barrows has 2,270-ish now. So it's good words of wisdom from
Barrows has his foot on the gas and never lifted, too.
That's exactly right.
No doubt.
The way he sees it, and again, I'll read these out because I'm surprised how many people will listen to these. Just listen to them on drives to work and such throughout the week. It's really surprising to me. But that's why I read these for them, in case you're in the comments wondering why. The way I see it, every video has a 10% chance of success. If I drop a video every day a week, I turn that into 70%. If I do one a week, I have only a 10% chance. Well, that makes sense.
Showing off.
James.
JB says, I have no idea where to start or how to do it. You know what? You had enough idea to start a channel and get 415 subscribers. Give yourself more credit, man. And JB's Little Shop has got to be about the best loved channel on all of YouTube. I don't know anybody that's not pulling for JB.
Amen.
Yeah, another one too, I'll just shout out, is Street Fox 347. I've never met him in person. I've missed him at the track. We probably walked right by each other and didn't know it. He lives about 8 miles from me. The guy had, I don't know, hardly any subscribers in January, and he has over 3,600 now. And he did it off of a campaign with shorts.
I see James and James here.
James in the house.
Yep, they got over 1,000 on like all their damn shorts, but they don't get views on their longs. 220, 143, 40. It looks like a lot of shorts.
James and James is a channel that's trying that Hail Mary pass into the end zone. But I'll tell you what, those guys they're making stuff happen because every time I update the sub tallies, they're jumping up. So
They just posted a video 5 hours ago, 8 minutes 26 seconds long. I'll check that one out later tonight. So yeah, I like the thumbnail. You got dude standing there in a suit. Time to get serious in the thumbnail with your logo on it. You know, that's pretty cool. I like it. I like the Mexican flag with the sombrero on top of the car too. That's nitrous bottle. Yeah, these thumbnails are pretty catchy looking. So it just takes time. Just keep pounding away, upload.
keep doing what you're doing. Understand too, I'll address this real quick because it came up on a live. We do want to. So I know Dallas and I both would agree with this, that we want to see every single person make the No Name 500. We want to see that. And sometimes the strategy is to help a bunch at one time. Sometimes the strategy is to focus in on one or another. And so we try different strategies to see what helps the most, right? So sometimes if there's a particular theme going on and it relates to a video, we'll say, hey, let's shout these two guys out because for whatever reason, like these two guys are from Canada, or these two guys are working on a Ford, or these two guys are doing something with Pontiac, right? And it kind of makes a focused thing to get a bigger audience, more subscribers for those channels. But we're not neglecting anybody. It's just that everybody has a time and a place. And some people need less help than others. Like, for instance, if a channel's got 450 subscribers and there's an opportunity to really focus on a channel that has 250, that it's probably better opportunity spent there. So sometimes if you see us skipping around and singling out one channel to try to help at that moment, that's the reason why. Because we want everybody to make it and leave no one behind. That's what we want to do. Rock to Rat Rod, Rust to Hot Rod, a.k.a. Tom. Having a blast being part. Yeah, man. We're glad to have you.
Sure.
Ryan Barsness is here. Check that out. Dude Mopar's in the house. Ari wants 500 to have a community page.
Yep.
Yes, that community page is cool.
Where are you at right now, Ari?
I think Ari's about 300-ish. I need to look. Ari's not in the No Name 500, so I don't tally his every day.
Good luck finding it.
360.
Right?
360. Ari, you'll get your community tab and 140 more.
Oh, man. Just keep putting them shorts out. He's been driving on this interstate for like 2 weeks trying to make it home, but he keeps breaking down.
Yeah,
Poor
keep
guy.
at it.
We'll pray
keep at
for
it,
you.
Though. It will come. Those efforts you're putting out, getting those shorts out and whatnot. That
So,
stuff
by
will
the
pay
way,
off.
since we got a lot of No Name 500 guys in the chat here, I'll just say that Wednesday I saw with my own eyes the Cinderella Trophy for the No Name 500 winner. You guys are going to want to have this on your mantle. So, hammer down. It's getting real. It's getting tangible.
Heck yeah.
Oh, it's really, really getting real, man. I really feel it. Oh, that 46, you could bump it up about 10 more days if you wanted. Just being honest with you.
So SRP is asking, what do you like better? Okay, so this is a good question for Buzz and Blake here. So SRP has been back and forth with two different channel names, SRP and RP Dynalo.
I like SRP. Easy.
Short and sweet. Short and
Okay.
sweet. My guess is isn't he tacking it on? You know, tack on a simple word because it's a keyword in the name, SRP Garage. The RPDYNALO, that may be meaningful to you, but if somebody sees that and they want to, I got to remember to go check that. Now, what the hell was it? It was RQZ. Yeah, SRP.
Maybe not go garage at the end of it. Try to differentiate yourself a little bit differently because just in the chat right here, how many garages do you see? You got DRC Garage, Iris Outlaw Garage, Torque Race. Well, sorry, that's Productions, but Midnight Rod Garage. Everybody's a garage. So
Yeah, it could be shop, could be
Yeah.
fabrication, could be
Yep.
Get creative with it, but be more descriptive than SRP.
SRP Racing, SRP
Boom.
Customs, SRP.
You know,
Yeah.
we see where Irish Outlaw Garage, his creative part of the name is Irish Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do most people call him? They call him Irish Outlaw. If the creative, you gotta have some creative part of the name, or people won't keep them on stay on the tip of people's mind.
By the way, SRP, if you added an
There you go,
additional
Dutch.
word to your name, it would make it a lot more bit better for people finding it in search. I'm doing a search for SRP. You're dozens and dozens down before I find you.
Dutch guy's Kwanzaa.
I've said that to Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports Garage, because he doesn't have a garage. It should be Unity Motorsports driveway. He built that whole truck in his driveway.
It also might make sense to spell out whatever SRP stands for. That may be, a decent descriptive name is never going to hurt you.
Like, look at White Trash Motorsports. That you'd think that was some corporation or company, right? I mean, look how professional his little WTM circle is. You'd think he was a business almost. It's been established for 20 years.
Yeah.
James and James show the Cinderella Trophy is going to be a trophy that is where people are going to vote on the overall winner of the No Name 500. So the thing is, if you want people to vote for you, obviously do the best you can with the No Name 500. Barrow says, don't be afraid to shout out the channel you got the idea from. Right, Blake?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, always give credit where it's due, man. I mean. Community. It's all about community.
Come on, Blake. We're not competing. We're laughing because Blake and I were in a live one time. One of Blake's lives. I'm in there. And somebody else is in there. A few other people. And Blake said it, and I think I had some little derivative of it. And Blake's, I don't know if it was verbatim, but it was really close to saying community.
I think Jeremy actually said it the right way afterwards.
Anyway, that live was uttered community. It's about the community, not the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
somebody in the comments says, that's a great saying.
Yeah.
And the next day there's t-shirts.
It's funny.
Hey, no problem, those steel parts.
That's great, John. We appreciate you.
No problem, most steel parts. I'll either email you the step-by-steps or, man, we can get on a private StreamYard, share a screen, and I can walk you right through it or talk you over the phone, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Hey,
Email
Ryan,
address is on my About page if you need it.
Hey, Ryan, what are you doing to that Super Bee? What are you doing right now at this moment? We have Struggle Bourbon Garage.
I like that. I like that.
Oh, here's a good question from Phillips Run Drip and Bubble Company. What about tags on your videos?
What you're actually having in your video should be tagged.
No doubt.
Specifically, try to be very specific with it.
Don't overdo them.
Then you can add some broad stuff in there, right, Buzz?
Yeah, as long as you're not overdoing it. It's arguable, but the number I've heard, kind of the optimal number is 6 or less. As long as they're point on. If you're working on a Ford, put hashtag Ford. If you're working on a Pontiac, hashtag Pontiac. If you put a laundry list, 36, a paragraph of tags, I understand from reliable sources that when it's overdone, YouTube ignores it. So keep your tags reasonable. The other thing about tags is it does two things. It further helps YouTube understand what your video is about, but it of course also groups your video with every other video out there that has the same tag. So if there's somebody going through Ford shorts, for example, if you've got a short that's tagged shorts and tagged Ford, you have the opportunity to get your video in that guy's non-stop scroll after scroll after scroll after scroll if he's looking at Ford stuff.
I love the sense of humor that our chat has. It's great.
Oh, another thing is like what Bear Rose said earlier. After you're done with your description, doing your tags, I see a lot of people that they try to tag other channels, but they're not putting the @ symbol in front. They're doing the pound, and that's not going to notificate that other channel that you tagged them.
Exactly.
They'll be none the wiser. So, like, if you get an idea from somebody, @Roadkill Customs gave me this idea, support his channel like he supports mine. And then maybe that person sees that you name drop them in the video and they might share it on a community post. Hey, go check these guys out. They're pretty cool.
That is how it works.
I try to do that every time like for instance, when I'm congratulating somebody for making 500 subscribers, I'll say they've taken their checkered flag from the @Roadkill Customs No Name 500, because that way it tags Buzz, and I'm sure it helps the machine overall.
And I guarantee you, I tag Duddy's Adventure in every single one of my videos, because somewhere in there, we're, throwing, some shade at him. So I tag John too anytime I do No Name National hashtag.
I appreciate that.
Hey, back to that one that you just had up for Perpetual Projects. He's asking about if the tag count applies to the description or the tag box. There's actually 3 places you can place tags. One is in the title, one is in the descriptions, and the others is in the tags box for that particular video. None of those 3 locations warrants any more love than any of the others. It's, are they there or are they not there? And the count is cumulative. Generally speaking, again, shorts, for example, YouTube is instructing you to put hashtag shorts in the title to get 100% love. Generally speaking, tags in the title, that's taken away unless you're using if your title is preparing the 74 Nova for the No Name Nationals and you use hashtag No Name Nationals instead of the 3 words No Name Nationals, you're not shooting yourself in the foot by using up any characters in the title. But remember, you do got 100 characters for the title. Use as many of them as you possibly can to cleanly, don't pad it, but next best place to put them is in the tag box itself. Of equal pertinence would be the last line of your description. First couple of sentences in your description should be, sum up your video if you can in 2 or 3 sentences, 2 or 3 paragraphs. The more the merrier. The more words, very simply, YouTube's going to have a better understanding of what's in the video. Latter half of descriptions, generally speaking, are ignored, with the exception of tags. But if you're putting in, follow my Instagram, follow me on Facebook, thanks for being here, yada, 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 none of that stuff is, all of that fluff, not necessarily helping or hurting your video. All of that data is kind of moot. YouTube can their AI can pretty well tell when you've completed your description of what's in the video.
Later, Torque Racing.
Hello.
Does my mic sound better this time now, John?
Yes.
Okay, good. I found this pantyhose thing with like a foam background at a Goodwill for $14 the other day. I'm like, I'm gonna try that out. See if that helps.
Good score. Perpetual Projects is saying, I'll use less in the future then. Usually use 3 in the description, but use every one that TubeBuddy suggests in the tag section, which is like 20.
Use the TubeBuddy is they're suggesting those based on history, based on AI, based on searches, based on a number of decent things. You're the human. Take a look at the 20 and you pick the ones that are most pertinent to what's actually in that video. TubeBuddy's a helper. You know, it's and their stuff, in my experience, is really good. Their suggestions are pretty much point on, but you as the human got to go in there and figure out which are the most pertinent to what's actually in that video content.
Back to what I said earlier, look up something that you're making your video about and see what has the most views, and look what his top 3 tags were for that video. So if it's a head gasket swap, okay, type in head gasket for LS, whatever. Look at the one with the most views, the most interaction with it. You look through his description, cherry pick out of it. Don't plagiarize, but cherry pick out of it.
Be motivated.
Barrow's Garage has an interesting point here. He moved all of his hashtags to the description because it puts them above because YouTube puts the hashtags above your title anyway. So even though when you're entering your video and you're editing it, yes, you're going to type in the hashtags after you've typed the title, but that's not where they show up when it publishes. And that way he's not using the 100 characters in the prime real estate of the title for keywords.
Right on.
Yep. No
Right
Name
on,
Nationals takes a lot of them spaces right away.
It does. You know, again, it makes sense if you would have normally had the 3 words No Name Nationals in your title, but otherwise, stick it elsewhere.
Except for when it's, 45 days away from now and you're driving there on my way to No Name Nationals. There you go.
Yeah, for those of you who are having to come on foot, you probably better be leaving now, just saying.
Yeah. One day I just started running.
Oh, you know, something else I'll throw in here, even though it isn't related, but I'll get a plug for it. Mr. Rodder's neighborhood is building a monkey bike for the monkey bike class. But because Dallas does not race in his own stuff, he's going to need a jockey driver. So for somebody who has over 500 subscribers, but may not have a ride to drive at the event, you might be a good candidate to be Dallas's hired gun for the day.
Right on.
I volunteer.
The pay is a banana and a Diet Dr. Pepper. Your hired gun for the monkey bike class.
A diet
There
Dr.
you go.
Pepper?
Yeah.
Okay. 6-pack it is.
But you need to have 500 subscribers.
Got that.
In time, I got to say, the 500 subscriber thing is really going to be a brand of this event that is one very small part of what makes it special. Because you guys have risen to this challenge. It's just been amazing to watch what you guys have done with the 500 subscriber race. Really stole the show.
In chat, if you're going to No Name Nationals, put yes. Type yes in the chat section that you're going. Type no if you're not. I just want to see how many people in the chat are going to be there.
A bunch.
Well, then I'm trying to help you with more comments there, John, for the algorithm.
We usually average a lot of comments. I know that when we do the Friday Night Lives, there you go. How about that? On the Friday Night Lives, we usually average about 750 to 900 comments per hour on the Friday. And I would imagine this one, looking at concurrent viewers, we're probably around 400 or 500 an hour.
See a lot of yeses. That's a good thing.
I sure do. Out of Order Garage and Artur are not be able to make it, but it looks like virtually everybody else. Boy, this is one.
I pray the James and James show can make it.
Yep. By the way, we say make it. Understand, you can always come as a spectator.
That's
always.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
They're
to the event.
yeah, they're right there, aren't they?
Hey, there's Mr. Rodder's neighborhood. Look at that. You mention him and he appears. If you haven't seen Mr. Rodder's latest video about monkey bike modifications, so there are 2 videos Mr. Rodder's neighborhood has put up in the past 2 days. One of them has a means of propelling a monkey bike. The other might have footage of me on a monkey bike. Just saying.
Ruh-roh.
That might have actually happened.
That sounds like a clip into a short to me.
Might have been a clip into the grass off road. Yeah, Mexicans think it's ironic how many YouTubers race their cars in Mexico's but won't be at your race. I agree.
I used to run up in Canada, but you just can't hook up that great up there, so I've been going to Mexico lately. They
Mopard
put
in
syrup
says,
on the roads or something.
yeah. Mopard in says we'll have a caravan of cars coming from the northeast. Cool.
Right on.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I love hearing the meetup and meetup along the way.
No Irish Outlaw I did not wipe out. Yeah. Yeah, see, most of the old parts are us. Check that out, Mr. Rogers David. Get the word out there. We would love to see more people. We're already seeing more people wanting to jump into the monkey bike class because of that build. It's a barrel of fun, seriously. Dallas and I had too much fun with that thing. I'll say it, we were really close to a really dumb idea with that monkey bike that would have been a lot of fun. That monkey bike almost wound up in the pool. It was this close to happening.
Hey, J-Bo.
J-Bo's in the house. How you doing?
What other questions you guys got out there?
Yeah.
Anything?
Don't forget, I mean, on the monthly content creator workshop, this is the next to last.
Yeah.
So
let's
we might
skip all them shorts questions. I think we covered that enough.
Yeah, shorts is reminder, they're on my channel, Roadkill Customs, on the community page, roughly a dozen videos down, shorts and the algorithm. Some really, really good information in that if you want to understand what's happening. Other than that, just make them.
J-Bo for president.
I'm down with that.
J-Bo's down to one payphone. He used to have two in town, but now he's down to one.
Oh no, J-Bo didn't know that. Oh man.
Yes, the one on
You
Main
got him
Street's
working.
gone. You gotta drive a mile to the one in Marquette.
So Phillips is asking an interesting question here. I would like to know how to become a member of the No Name National. Well, No Name Nationals is a YouTube content creator event that is open to participants with 500 subscribers or more, and spectators can come to it. But to race, burnout competition, bracket race, and all that good stuff, you must have 500 subscribers or more. And you can register at nonamenationals.com. Okay? If you want to come as a spectator, there will be spectator tickets for sale at the gate, and also discounted spectator tickets available at nonamenationals.com. So, just depends what you want to do.
No, Levi, you do not. Well, I take that back. YouTube actually said, or sent out an email, because shorts aren't long enough to generate any income, that they're going to take the top percentage of shorts creators and divide up money and send it out to them.
Yep, called the Shorts Fund.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Dudes with Wrenches is close to dipping his toe into that. Probably not, but you got to be hitting millions every short to get close to that.
You got to be pushing some views for sure.
Wow,
Yeah.
Phillips is at 444 subscribers. You're in striking distance. So Phillips Run, Drip, and Bubble Company, if you want to participate, you only need 56 more subscribers. You're right there. William Huff, going to No Name Nationals as a spectator. Cool, man. We look forward to seeing you. D. Scaglio, No Name Nationals channel. There's hundreds of them. Type in the hashtag. And the place for official information is on the lives on my channel, like this content creator workshop, and the lives that I do with Dallas Brown. I'm live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, and the AHRA Facebook page. That's where you can get your official No Name Nationals info.
You know, a great way to save on shipping and handling is to show up to the No Name Nationals and buy some of the channel's merch on site.
Yes.
There you go.
And save some money, folks.
And
We'll see you there. Yeah.
The only thing better than ordering a Bad Tree Productions t-shirt is to get it in person and get J-Bo to sign it for you.
Ooh. Just a greasy paw print right on your
Yeah, right.
You should see all the handprints all down the side of the Barracuda. They're not going to get washed off.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Scaglione, you're on it. You're on it. Levi says they're going to be selling shirts and koozies. Yeah, bring your stuff. Bring your swag, your T-shirts, your hats, whatever you sell for your channel. Bring it. Who knows? That may pay for a lot of your trip. I mean, this is basically, Dallas put it this way, and he was right. It was basically a YouTube content creator trade show. That's kind of what it's like. But it's a big meet and greet. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And the hashtag No Name Nationals is showing at least 4,200 videos right now.
Yeah, just posted that link just to make it easy.
JB's going to be getting back to doing some paperwork. We'll be listening. Well, sometimes we got to do paperwork now, don't we? Dr. Fiddler, if you have any questions about that, ask Dallas. We opted not to have a formal swap meet at the event, but you know, people who have parts with them, that's fine.
We're gonna probably bring some extra stuff that we don't need.
Yeah.
And once the cars are off the trailer, we're just gonna lay the parts on the trailer, some price tags if it can help somebody.
Recover some of them bucks too. Why
Yeah,
not?
that's cool. That's cool. We opted not to do a swap meet like, you know, we do vendor spaces and all of that. We just didn't want to get into all of that. Take the focus off the event a little bit too, what we're doing. But yeah, if you got stuff you want to hawk, we don't care.
There you go, Big Block 402. Bring them.
Oh, and Big Block 402, I know for a fact that your membership, your AHRA membership went out on Saturday.
Yeah, everybody become a member of the AHRA. I don't want Dallas to have any free time other than stuffing T-shirts and envelopes and sending them out in the mail.
You know, the AHRA, you will never see a sanctioning body support you as much as the AHRA does. Dallas has just wholeheartedly embraced the YouTube community, and he works so hard for you guys. I would love to see the AHRA get its membership numbers up. The YouTube community can come in and really become the dominant AHRA member. I think would be great, because it truly is the sanctioning body for the rest of us. Just putting that out there. If you've ever been in his office, you would see how hard he works for you guys every day. You guys have any other questions? You got the brain trust with Buzz and Blake. Now's the time. Yeah, Irish Outlaws a member. Actually, we got 4 new members, I believe, Friday night, and your stuff went out Saturday morning. Because I went with Dallas. We took it to the post office, then we came back and did some really sketchy stuff with a monkey bite. I'll put it like this. I walked into a fireworks store and said, hey, man, I'd like to use some stuff that's not directed on the label. Can you help me? And the guy knew way too much that was helpful, because clearly he's been doing some Wile E. Coyote, Acme rocket stuff himself. Yeah, Dallas says if I have free time, I use it to blow up monkey bikes. If you haven't seen that, you want to watch his latest video.
Have you updated your Filmora yet, John? Or do you just keep skipping it?
Yes.
Did you notice all the extras?
No, because I updated it after I was done with the video in case it messed it up. So I'm gonna get to learn it next time I get in there.
There's a ton of different stuff, and they changed the format, so it takes like one video of editing to get used to, you know, rip, delete, and all that stuff. But
okay.
They added a ton of GIFs, you know, animated pictures, you know, that you can tie in if you say something funny. You can add something like that into your video. And a lot of like backgrounds and different like green screen effects, other transitions, other on-screen effects where you don't need green screen. I think they're trying to help with that short attention span audience.
Okay.
Because if you say something and then a ton of the popular YouTube channels, you see the SpongeBob thing A few moments later.
Later.
You know, they all use that, all the bigger channels, and they all plug in GIFs and noises, audio explosions and stuff like that. I think it'd be a good idea if some of you guys have your free editors or paid for editors to just try making a silly video once with adding some stuff that you generally wouldn't use and see how that's received by your audience. Just try stepping out of your comfort zone, you know.
No SRP, but I think you should. Go for it.
You might get a, you know, person that's under 45 years old to watch your video.
Yeah, AHRA does not have a gasser class yet. But you know what would thrill us to death? To see a bunch of people building gassers for the 2023 No Name Nationals. How about that, Dallas? Wouldn't you like to see that? So mostly old Parts and Rust has a Filmora question here, because I know several of you guys use Filmora now.
Yes, there's an AI built into the software. So if you make a video and you go to export it, it gives you an option to create a 60-second short out of your whole video that you just made. And I've been trying that on the past 5 videos that I made. And I'll tell you, that AI can't do what I do with a 40-minute video and try to make a 60-second short out of it. It's terrible. But I noticed the shorter your videos are, it does a little bit better. So you can almost just throw 5 minutes of your footage onto this program and just hit export. Don't even edit it. And see what the AI comes up for you with, you know. Maybe it works. Maybe.
Phillips runs Rip and Bubble has to go. But hey, man, you're really close. You're 445-ish subs. So, hey, man, you're right there. You can do it. You want to join in the fun and participate, you sure can. Yes, Sarah Shaw. Need to holler at you. I got a reminder on my phone for, I think it was 11. And then I had a meeting, and I came in from the meeting, and I sat down at the computer and did this. And I'll holler at you after this if that works. I'll holler at you. We'll wrap this up in about 43 minutes, and then I will give you a holler.
It's pronounced Peter Steele, Ari.
Dallas brings up a good point. This is not the AHRA of yesteryear. It carries the heritage. It's descendant of it, but it's not the same. This is the AHRA for all of you guys. So this is a question here. This would be a good one. Questions are still about shorts. Sorry. I think when you're talking about the middle of the screen, that's a formatting thing. Shorts are made to be vertical format, viewed vertically. And then the whole size of the screen. What you're seeing is probably something that's been converted twice.
Yeah, it started out horizontal, and they went into their editor and made it...
Yeah, so if it's shot vertically, then they convert it. If it's shot horizontally and they convert it to vertical, what happens is, to keep the full width of it, it has to have bars top and bottom. And so you'll get that little small viewing window in the middle. If a short is shot in vertical to begin with, you shouldn't have that at all.
I was going to say, I could kind of show that, John, maybe. I got my editor pulled up.
I probably have one like that, where I shot it vertically and said, shoot, man, that'd make a good short, so I posted it anyway. You pull one of those up. I generally try to do shorts in vertical format, but if I can't, I'll take what I can get. Those were shot properly. So was that one. But I know I've got one. Yeah, here's one that's like that. You're talking about this. So you have a bar at the top and the bottom, and then you've got a regular 9:16 image in the middle.
Right.
And you see it's tiny like that because this was shot in horizontal, but they had to compress it to the width of the short. If you compare that to a short that was shot vertically, at least it's the width of your phone screen.
I can do a visual example.
And yes, it was to compete with TikTok. All right, guys. Any questions about content in general, about getting sub drives? Blake wants to share.
Oh, okay. There it is. New project. Instagram. Standard. Portrait 9.16, right?
Yep.
So we click that. Now I can drag in. I'm just going to drag in whatever. This kid. And then I'm going to import another just image. And I'm going to put him down here. Project settings. It's going to make it that little horizontal inside this vertical here. To fill this gap in, I like to take my images, overlay them.
Just a little draggy droppy.
Yep. And then, what's your name, buddy?
Ben?
Ben? This is your first time on YouTube?
Yes.
Is this your first car show?
Well, this is probably my second.
Your second one? What do you think of it so far?
Good.
Good. So yeah, it's just that, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, if you don't feel bad if you film something horizontally, you can always turn it into a short if you want. And if you're doing it in your editor, do it at 59 seconds, because if you do it at 60 seconds, once you put it on YouTube, it'll see it as like 61 seconds.
Yeah.
It's something weird.
Okay, Levi's Backyard Performance has a good comment here. He says, to help those camera shy, maybe given some tips for creating content without overthinking it. So what would you suggest to somebody who has all kinds of cool content sitting around them, but they don't know how to execute their first content? They're camera shy or whatever. What would you guys suggest?
Do it vlog style behind the camera. You know.
That would have been, in so many words, that would have been my answer as well. Get it, best you can, use your hands, get your hands in the screen, pointing things out. But other than that, what everybody always seems to say, and it seems so easy to say, but imagine you're just talking to your buddy in the garage type of thing. That's who you're explaining it to. Sounds a little goofy. You'll feel a little goofy. But one of the things I've always suggested is, especially if you're using something easy that you can review on quickly, like a phone. A lot of these guys are using phones. Just go ahead and, pretty much what you need to say, unless you're filming something real time, some real time work. But you can still think through what you're going to be talking about. Go ahead and film yourself. Watch it back. Do it again if you feel like you need to make some corrections. Film yourself for, even 30, 40 seconds. Watch it back. Adjust what you're doing, and then boom, make a take.
And Levi, you're not going to be showing this to strangers. I mean, look at the people in the chat that you've been hanging out with for the past year. These are all your buddies.
Yep.
So when you look at that camera, you're looking at, Auto Salvage Outlaw or Creedence Chrysler Revivals, people that you're familiar with. So when you look at the camera, be yourself and pretend it's those guys behind it, or whoever. And it'll take a while, and you'll get used to it. And maybe you'll be in it 3 years and still saying "so" every 4 words, like some people, every 2 words. But yeah, just be comfortable, be yourself, and you'll get over it to where you don't even realize you're in front of the camera any longer.
Shoot the video for your friends. Title the videos for total strangers.
Video in public is always a little weird, but you just gotta remember this. Has anybody just came up to you and said, "You're weird, man"? You know, people will think it. They'll see you there with the camera, and they're like, and they'll think it and say it to their friends, but they're not gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, you're weird. What are you doing? Camera, huh?" Ugh.
You know what? I've not even found that. I know when Tony and I went and filmed at the train museum, we're out on the platform filming this train, and there were people everywhere, and we just started doing it. We didn't think of it. We're just like in front of the camera talking about this and that, and we noticed people kind of got into it. They were liking what we were doing because we were there doing something cool and different.
If we didn't have the camera out, I don't think 4 of us would have been able to go down the drag strip in the van. Because who wants to look like a dickhead on camera? Oh, you can't do that? He ain't gonna say it. You got the camera out. So you can kind of have some creative freedom when you got a camera.
No doubt.
Nobody's gonna come up because they don't want to be in it, first off. And they're not gonna look like a dickhead on camera unless they're a huge Karen. So...
Here's a channel that's a really, really, really solid example of someone that was camera shy and worked himself all the way through that. Junk Car Willie. He started off, you'd never saw, every once in a while you'd see a pointing hand or something along those lines, or him petting a mule or something like that. But you never saw him on his first videos. And at this, now he's doing lives and the whole bit. He's come full circle. He also started off with a channel of, I think it was a new channel. He didn't have any more than a few dozen when he got started on his No Name National trek. And he's well over $2,000 at this point. And he's also a good example of getting it done without feeling like you got to be universal pictures. A lot of his videos and still some of his newer stuff, very little editing, no razzle dazzle. He does abandoned cars and junkyard walks and that kind of stuff. That by nature it doesn't require a bunch of razzle dazzle. You're looking at the vehicles. But in a very short time, he took camera shy and editing on his phone quite a ways. Junk Car Willie, actually I can pop his
Junk Car Willie is the epitome of a warrior. That guy just went out, took a phone, and did it.
Yeah.
I gave him a hard time. He posts on our Facebook page often. I go, so it was like his 50th one. I'm like, so are you taking all these cars with No Name Nationals? Or he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry, dude. You got to get used to the way we are. We can't throw,
We're kidders.
Yeah. And never take us too serious, folks. Because we don't mean it. Just having fun. Yeah, Dead Dodge Garage. He's blown up. He was published on a webpage earlier for finding a 68 Charger barn find, 28 years. Sitting in one spot. Great channel. Reminds me of Duddy's Adventures. With the planned speech, jump cuts, very well put together.
Hey, Sam, I will say you're a lot better on camera now than when you first began. Your channel's come a long way. For sure. I think everybody has gotten better on video in the last year. However good they were to begin with, they're better now.
Don't sweat it much, though. If it's just feeling weird in front of the camera, remember, people will watch virtually anything. All you've got to do is put it out there and give them the opportunity to find it.
And if you're totally weird, people might just watch how weird you are.
Hey, look for the feature, man. Silver lining.
That's why they had freak shows back in the day, right? I mean, that's what we are. We're just kind of a freak show. Safety issue. Show myself. Witness protection. That's understandable.
Mexican Spec says I have a safety issue. Can't show myself. You thought about wearing one of the Mexican luchador masks? That might be a nice workaround.
Or a welding mask or something along those lines, a safety
Sure
mask of some
could.
sorts that.
Huh.
There you go. Pop a mic right inside that dude, and you're good to go.
Credence. For YouTube, there is more evidence of Sasquatch than me.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. Yeah, the welding shield is a gift from Mopar Den, hand pinstriped.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Love
That
those old school
That looks
shaped
like
helmets.
Buzz's style, doesn't it? The Roadkill Customs hand pinstriping.
No
Old
doubt.
Very
manual darkening helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just giving a nod.
On Bigfoot.
Drag week
Bigfoot's in
starts
Minnesota.
September 18th. Will it interfere with the No Name Nationals? No. The No Name Nationals are September 30th and October 1st. And even though it's not officially part of the event, we're going to have a flash mob car show at Lambert's Restaurant. We're rolling out of the track at 6 p.m. And for those who are not participating in the No Name Nationals, you could just certainly welcome to meet us there. Bring your hot rods, bring your cars, Lambert's Restaurant. We'll be there shortly after 6 o'clock, like 6:15, 6:30, Lambert's in Sykeston, Missouri. And that will be September 29th on Thursday.
Turlo, if Ari comes, he's got to leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or get a plane ticket.
Drive your monkey bike from California to the No Name Nationals. Leave today. Yeah, you guys are so bright. I got to wear a welding helmet. Isn't that the truth?
Huh.
Yes, Artur. Yes, you can do that. I'm pretty sure that fits. I believe it's really, really close. I know you can make that work.
See, Ari's the kind of guy that gets the humor. Yeah. Another thing with your channel is don't be too damn serious or take too many of the comments to heart. Otherwise, that'll get in your head and maybe potentially ruin the outlook on your next video. You don't want to go into it being pissed off, you know.
Plenty of keyboard cowboys out there that just say some of the craziest stuff. Just don't take it personal.
Still got to get that Jiffy Lube Rejects design figured out.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know where that came from, there was a commenter in Bad Tree Productions that said, what did he said, Blake? Something like, these guys are a bunch of Jiffy Lube rejects, and they just took it and ran with it. We had a bunch of fun with it, and the troll never came back.
Yeah.
When you
Well,
own
bummer.
stuff like this, it's kind of hard for them to do anything with it.
It's like how we show that we drink beer when we're writing on our whiteboard.
Yeah.
It's subtlety. Don't go back in the comment section. Put it in your videos. Subtle.
It's subtle.
The ones
It's
that know
never-
will pick up on it.
It's fun. It's never ugly. Good stuff.
Only 6 Saturdays, points out
Yeah.
unfinished project.
That's it. Only 6. 6 Saturdays. In other words, if you choose to say, hey, I'm going to take this Saturday and I'm going to go do this instead, you have given up over 18% of your remaining time.
I hope we're done with 3 Saturdays left. Feeling it. Duddy, he's got to get slamming that motor together. There's a lot of guys out there.
This is a good point. I think it's worth mentioning in case it applies to anybody. If you put your kids in a video, make sure they are safe on the video. One guy lost a channel because he did burnouts with his toddler in the passenger seat.
Whoops.
Yeah, okay.
I never got hit with that. I mean, I went on a live drive with my daughter, roasting the nacho tires and ripping on it, and she's always in the garage with us. And I've never had YouTube say a damn thing to me.
But it is a good point to make sure that the kids are safe when they do stuff in your videos in general.
But not helicopter parent safe. I mean, come on, let these kids live a little.
Yeah, no doubt.
SRP. The thing is, these are all content creators, so people don't want to lose that. That sound is going to be great. My suggestion would be for anybody filming there, have a mic on when you're talking, and then have the ambient sound when you're not. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun and exciting. Good point here. Mexican Spec says that it was a criminal charge thing, and he took down his videos because of that. He didn't lose his channel. So it was not YouTube that did that. That's an important distinction. But do get your kids involved with your videos.
Ryan Wing, Streetcar Chronicles, folks, make sure to subscribe to that channel. Very good channel. He said he did a video with his son Jake and his buddy, and because it primarily had 2 children in it, YouTube automatically made it 4 kids when he uploaded it. For some reason. And he had to go into his settings and mess around for a little bit to make it so comments could be on and that it wasn't made for kids. And he's like, why would they do that? And I'm like, I don't know, tell Jake that he can cuss when he's filming. Yeah, and if, like, I think we've mentioned it before, if you make your videos safe for children, safe for kids, it'll disable the comments. And you won't have any feedback on your videos if you do it that way.
I noticed a lot of new channels when they were forming early on in this event, people had their comments turned off. And it was like made for kids. They didn't know how to check that box because they thought, well, my videos don't have content that's unsafe for kids. But it's not content that's actually made and designed for kids. So you always want to make sure to tell it, no, it's not made for kids.
I always check the box that there is some swearing because I try to mute hard cuss words like the F-bomb. Within the first 5 minutes, you'll hear in my videos beep every once in a while. After that 5 minutes is over, they fly with no more editing.
There's the short king right there.
There he is.
I bet he'll make a clip of this live and make a short of it and put it on his channel.
Yeah. Dudes with wrenches. Look at these jack wagons. Old Barn's right. I never cuss.
Glad Dalton could make it.
And that's another thing with your shorts. I think if there's any cussing in it, it might not reach that broad audience. Try to keep your shorts probably PG, right?
Yes, sir. That is accurate.
It's a good idea.
I tried a short the other day with some gangster music. There was some hard language in it. And it flatlined. It didn't go anywhere. Like, went to 40 views and dead.
What are you trying to do to our public adolescents here, Blake?
I didn't tag No Name Nationals. It's respectful about that. If anybody's going to take the smoke, it'd be on me. So, I'm going to try something different. It's just a bunch of experimenting. Because I don't care if a video gets 30 views or one takes off. What's the one that's going to take off?
Yeah.
And for the past 3 years, I haven't found that out. So, just keep trying.
Yeah, some people. I gotta say though, when Cope was live with me, he was fine.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I wish I had one of them signature Cope plates in the valve body with the secret message.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's Darts valve body is a Cope Racing manual reverse valve body.
Yeah, John, when you put something to bad trees in there, you got to hide a little message in there inside the valve body. Get with me if you want to know what to surprise them with.
Dirty hill, filthy hippie. You're back in here again. Hopefully you never had to read the message but once, right? For like miles and miles and miles. A lot of guys.
First wrench responder. I actually hear that when I read first responder on my screen. Barrows is asking, what is he asking here? A good question. You have to worry about people doing what you do and suing you if they get hurt or doing it wrong. Why is that a question for me? I would say that's a question for attorney.
You know, that's not, you know, like Bioscript Garage has a disclaimer right away in the beginning of this video.
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea to put a disclaimer. Your description, maybe?
Pop it in the description. Easiest place to
We
get it
are
done.
not smart. Be smarter than us. Don't do what we do.
Put that stuff at the end of the description as well. Keep those first 2 or 3 sentences point on what you're describing your content.
Yep.
And John Cope likes to be with the political side with his content. That's fine. Everybody has their own bag. I try to just keep all that stuff out of.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I mean, no one's telling you what to do on your channel, what to put on your channel. You want to have politics on your channel, by all means, do it. Just understand, you will have to accept the consequences if you want politics on your channel. You will have to accept the consequences if you polarize your audience and if you get trolls and if it detracts from the content you want to do. But this is America, man. You got free speech, so we're not telling you not to do it because you can do what you want, but I'm telling you it's probably not helpful at all. If your mission is to get as many subscribers and general audience and all the automotive debauchery that a lot of us are working toward.
It's the most toxic, you know, conversation there is, you know, what have everybody preached when they go out and drink with their buddies? No religion, no politics, let's drink beer. You have a good time.
As Dalton says, alienating half the population isn't the recipe for success.
Truth.
I'm not a fan, but just gotta do what we gotta do. Of the guy that's in there.
I mean, I find it easy just to focus on the content you do want to make, and then you don't devolve into the content you don't want to make. I mean, Dallas and I were having so much fun with that monkey bike that never even occurred to us to get into politics or any social issues, right? Dudes with Wrenches suggests try not to draw hard lines because you'll end up on the wrong side of the line.
Different folks, different strokes. You know, everybody's got their own opinions. Let's just all get along.
Irish Outlaw does innuendo without naming names. Irish Outlaw is such a renegade anyway. He cannot be corralled. He's the kind of guy that I always want to see somebody tell him what he can't do.
I did one political kind of deal, and that was before I even posted my first video on the channel with the drag racing and whatnot. It was during the Iowa State game. It was on ESPN Game Day, and there's a kid holding up a sign that says, "Venmo me, I need beer money." And he checked his Venmo account, and he had like $40,000.
Wow.
Because so many people donated. So he said, well, I just want enough money for the beer that I wanted, and he donated the rest of the money. Or they did a pledge or fund drive until they had like a month to do it. And he donated that all to the Children's Hospital. Well, Cedar Rapids Gazette reporter went back on social media from 2007 and tried to cancel him. and he had to deal with Bush Light, and they backed out of it because of it. And I made a video response about that because I was mad at Bush Light. Threw my Bush Light on the ground, started chugging a Coors Light, and then said some derogatory language and ended it. And that was before shorts were even a thing. And that video had 4,000 views in 2 hours. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, oh, I don't want my video to be, or my channel to have anything to do with politics, so I killed it. You know? And it was a hot subject. It happened that day, and it probably would have went, woof. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be known because of that. So
Yeah.
got rid of it. I shouldn't have. I should have let it go. Probably would be better off.
Sam, I would agree with that because it's certainly true for me too. But here's the thing. Sometimes what you can do that will help you a little bit is if it's just as simple as ignoring a comment that shouldn't be read, you know, or if it's as simple as not calling attention to a polarizing comment coming out of your chat or something like that. It can be that easy. It can be that easy. And if you have to ask yourself, if you're going back and forth in your mind on whether or not you should make that reference, you probably shouldn't.
There's a lot of thin skin out there nowadays, folks.
Worse than ever. Pole Barrage says keep one channel for safe stuff, do stupid stuff on a separate channel. I do all the stupid stuff on the separate channel called John Wilburn.
Lots out there though with a secondary channel for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Putting their shorts, outtakes, that kind of stuff. Good
Yeah.
way to do it. Good
Yeah,
way to set
one
it up.
channel feels like a full-time job already. I mean,
Yeah.
So
what's it like? What's it like? Who in the chat has 2 channels?
Pole
What's
barn
that
does.
like?
Question for you, Buzz and Blake. At what point do you think it's a good idea to fire up a second channel just for that? For your stupid stuff that's not automotive related, for example.
Kind of talked about this privately, like us guys in our camp, about doing something else, but I just don't know. It might
Yeah, I don't
come
know
here.
what that number's worth it.
If you know, if your shorts and your for lack of a better term, stupid stuff, other stuff, whether it's B-roll and that kind of stuff, if it's an absolute departure from whatever the balance of your channel is about, you know, if you want to do underwater basket weaving shorts, but your primary channel is automotive in some way, shape, or form, you're better off spawning a various or a separate channel. And to fully understand that, there's a not my video, it's just a post on my community page. Look at that video. It's about 12 posts down, Roadkill Customs YouTube, community tab, about a dozen. Look for the algorithm in 2022. It'll give you a really solid explanation. It'll make sense why you'd want to do that.
My
But-
second channel option that I was thinking about, Buzz, is the boat ramp where Jeremy works and
you
watching
go.
people struggle to back stuff in, you know, and just sit down there on the weekends and videotape people.
See, and you know, it's not necessarily that the boat ramp stuff would disserve. Eventually, the algorithm will figure out that it's everything that Bad Tree was in the past, plus boat ramps now. But if you look at it from the other side, if you do the separate channel for the boat ramp stuff,
Yep.
it on its own will actually do better without all the other stuff fogging
Bad
up
Tree
the air.
Marine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. So that'd be our second channel we thought about. But then we live in Iowa, so like you got 6 months or 4 months where that river's frozen. You know, that you're not doing boat stuff. You can't not post for what is it, 4 6 months, and then they'll
I
take
know.
your
Is there enough
monetization.
action on the? Does it freeze enough to? I mean, dudes driving their cars out there, snowmobiles.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, hover
Ice
boats and
skates
stuff.
and whatever. Yeah.
But they're not at
Idiots
the boat
falling
ramp
through the
anymore.
ice.
Hey, yeah, I'm one of them.
Winter fun.
I tried an ice fishing video. They're like lead balloons.
Yeah.
But then again, that's on an automotive channel, so
Not a lot of
you know.
action, and I mean, when you hook one, you hook one, but in between times, yeah.
Mopar in here can't stand clickbait titles. So what would you guys suggest on the balance between a catchy title that makes you want to click and one that may be false advertising?
The false advertising type are never going to serve you well. You may in fact get a click, which initially, hey, that looks great, but when they discover that they've been clickbaited, they're going to fly from that video. It's going to lead to short duration and watch time, which is not going to help you moving forward with the algorithm. The only upside to clickbait is it gets your initial clicks up. Everything after that erases all the goodness. It's just not worth doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty girl thumbnails out there that ruin it for the videos that actually have a pretty girl in it.
Yeah, and you don't want to set your viewers up for disappointment, because generally speaking, there's folks that are out there that we all know well that they're making it work, and they don't seem to be having a lot of downside. But generally speaking, and this is general, clickbait in terms of thumbnails also, generally speaking, not going to be a real good service for your channel.
Later,
Hey,
Ari.
So, Buzz, tell me what you think of this. I believe I've asked Blake before. This is a thumbnail I did, and take a look at it, and then I'll tell you what the deal is with it.
What are the words? I bought a what? Oh, I bought a Hemi.
Hammy.
It's a 426 Hemi. The
I
title
bought
is
a
I bought a
Hemi.
Hemi. And then the title says 341 DeSoto Hemi.
Soto.
Now, the deal is, I didn't buy that Hemi, but that Hemi is indeed in the video. I showed the Hemi in the car. We took a ride in the car, did some burnouts with it. That engine's in the video, but I bought a different Hemi from that guy.
So you got a stroker small blocker 440 build, put a picture of a Pro Stock Hemi and say Pro Stock Hemi Destroyer. That's not the motor that's in your video, but ooh, what's gonna beat this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of clickbait, but it was indeed in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think
It's
that's
a half truth. I could see. I could get it. Understand. Oh, I see what you did there, John. I'll keep watching. It's still cool.
Yeah, generally, clickbait's gonna. The other problem with clickbait, I mentioned that people bail when they discover what they're looking for ain't there, but they also often they leave without liking, and they leave without commenting, and they give you a short view. Across the board. In some cases, they'll even dislike. So across the board, everything's down. Not going to serve you well.
SR Pieces still waiting for that? Dude, they're up. They've been up. That's Hemi Stand, part 1, 2, and 3. That's a wonderful series.
There you go.
I can't wait to go back and do more stuff with Hemi Stand. That guy's got 12 cars we need to video.
Those guys.
Garage Edition is up now.
Those guys still trying to figure out, the magic of thumbnails. Relatively straightforward in the automotive world. If you're working on a vehicle, get the full vehicle in there. If you're doing something specific to that vehicle, generally speaking, show the finished product. If you're repairing a cracked dash or something like that, give a nice shot. In some cases, the before and after on the thumbnail works well. A face with some sort of expressive, or some kind of dealio, generally speaking, that serves well. Contrasting fonts. You don't want to put too small or too much text in a thumbnail. Want to use a nice contrasting color. That's all some pretty general stuff, but things you should look for and think about.
Dudes with wrenches here.
Yeah.
I think if you got 4-6 months and all kinds of content where you can put out 1 video a month, I think the start to finish builds draw a bigger crowd because it's instant gratification versus a 45-part Barracuda build series. But then again, like, who's that goofy dude in Kansas? Western Chaplin or whatever his name is. I think it takes
Weston Champlin?
Yeah, it takes him about 4 months for every video that comes out, and they're usually start to finish videos. And look how popular he is.
Yeah, that is, he's instant gratification. Blake nailed it with that. But if you're, you look at Pole Barn's example with the GTO build, I think it was 24 episodes, made the full build, and then he did a compilation video that wrapped it up after the fact. And that compilation video, he got pretty decent views all the way across the entire build. But that compilation video is his #1 video in terms of views, and I also believe it's his #1 subscriber generator. Doing those wrap-up Cliff Notes summary videos. His is 55 minutes long, and it was the compilation of, I think, 22 or 23 videos that ranged anywhere from probably 8 to, I think the longer ones were in the 40 minutes. Something along those lines. Again, wrapped it all up into 55 minutes. One thing that hopefully he's still doing, but he found really useful, he was doing it in an episode type format, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and editing the, a 10-minute or a 15-minute episode down to 2 or 3 minutes every time he uploaded. So at the end, he didn't have a big project. All he had to do was put the little short snippets together, and boom, now you've got your compilation. Traditionally, those compilation videos do quite well, for all the same reasons as the start-to-finish videos. It's instant gratification. They see where it started and they see where it finished, all in one sit down.
Let's get this topic here on the Dalton mentions about dislikes.
It's as good as a thumbs up, man.
Yeah, because Mexican Spec says, does it matter if somebody dislikes the video? He asks that. Pole Barn says dislikes are just engagement. So what are your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
Absolutely. Watch which ones are getting those dislikes. Truth, dislikes are engagement. How you should be using that is figuring out, if it's 1 or 2 dislikes on a video, and the video is 90+% likes, don't pay it much mind. If you've got a 50% likes, 50% dislikes, take a good look at what that video is all about and how it differs from the videos that you've posted that do have 90% plus likes, and figure out what you need to change, because that's irritating people. A good way to steer yourself in the right direction, or away from stuff that's just not going to help you.
I got guaranteed the 3 same dudes that probably just click on the video, just dislike it, then back out. They're just...
Every channel's got a couple at least.
Well, they punched their troll card in that morning. They got to go and do their rounds, dislike everybody, then...
Little bit of administrative stuff, and while we do this, you guys, if you have any questions, last questions to get in, let us know. We'll wrap it up. You guys, would Sunday, September 11th, be good for you to do the final regular monthly content creator workshop of the season?
That works for me.
Sure.
Hopefully. All right.
Hopefully, so I'll have to give you some kind of excuse, John, and be like, man, I can't make it because I'm actually driving.
It's on my calendar for Sunday, September the 11th. So that's going to be the last regularly scheduled of the season, unless we wind up doing a one-off something in between then. That said, I would love for you guys who've asked questions today and gotten advice from Buzz and from Blake, just come back and say, hey guys, I've been doing this for the last month and here's how it worked out.
Right on.
Come back and tell us. Put it into action. If you want to start a campaign of shorts, you know what? You've got 28 days between now and then. because it's 30. Well, yeah, you have 28 days between now and then. Come back and tell us how those 28 shorts you did between now and then worked if you did one a day. Come back and tell us how this with your title, or this with your hashtags, or this with your thumbnail, or any of the advice you got here today. Come back and report on it. Let's talk about it next time.
I had a kind of an idea while we were talking about that alternate channel, and then it kind of went in with the instant gratification video. Run your channel now, stockpile a bunch of media for your secondary channel, and try doing a start to finish, and after that one airs, then do the build series behind it. See how that works.
Stephen, be safe.
You know.
And you know what we'll do? We'll wrap it up with this question from JB, because I do need to roll out here in just a little bit. But JB's got a good question for us to wrap it up on. How do you re-upload older videos from your channel, or is it possible?
Did you delete it? If you delete it, there's no way of getting it back unless you have the master video saved on a hard drive. Then you'd have to re-upload it to YouTube. Once you delete something off YouTube, it's gone forever, man. I tried talking to the customer support or help center, and they're like, yeah, tough luck, kid. It's gone.
Sure hate it for you, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, if you're talking about just very simply stuff that's old and you want to do kind of a redux version of it, pull something down, because you can download your videos through YouTube Studio. Do a couple of tweaks to it, add a title here, or overlay here, maybe an extra voiceover or something like that to improve the video some way, and then you just very simply re-upload it as a new video. That kind of stuff is a solid attack, by the way. If you've got older stuff and you've learned some lessons over the months, and you've got a bunch of videos that are down there at the bottom of your list that really haven't done anything, but you've figured a few things out, take the time, pick a few, pick some favorites, especially ones that are sparking an idea. Download that if you don't have it on your system already. Make a few edits to it. Maybe even combine 2 or 3 older short ones that never really performed, but the 3 of them together, now now you've got 2 or 3 minute videos combined into an 8 or 9 or 10 minute video with some, all of the lessons that you've learned, applied to it, uploaded as a new one. Boom, you're rocking and rolling.
And now that you have a bigger audience too, that helps with it. Because when you first did that video, you may have had an audience of 3, and now you may have an audience of 300.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to relaunch something that maybe was good from back then.
That computer behind me has my first year of YouTube stuff on it right now.
I would recommend, if you don't have a good way to save your master files and your videos, get in a system where you start consistently saving that. Save it so that if your channel got wiped out tomorrow, you wouldn't lose any content, if you don't already have that system in place. But with that, we'll shut it down here. We'll see you guys, and then hopefully more on September 11th, Sunday, same time, 5 Central, 6 Eastern. I want to thank the mods, Blake, Joe, Andy, Fubar, Ari, and Buzz. I want to thank you guys for helping keep everything running smooth here. I want to thank all you guys in the chat. I'm sure you had a lot of great things to do on a Sunday afternoon and evening, and you came here and hung out with us, and hopefully we can help lift everybody's boats together. That's what it's all about, right?
And how?
And with that, we'll wrap up and see you guys again soon.
Later.
Take care.
Peace.